Hey everyone, it's Felicia from Compass Land USA. Today I want to share with you some pro tips that will really help you out on your next Florida land purchase. So when you're buying land in Florida, there are 9 key things that you need to watch out for. When my company invests in Florida land, we follow these same 9 points. So I'm really sharing the industry expert secrets with you here today. You don't want to skip any of these points because they really could derail your whole land purchase. So let's start with the obvious, and I'll flip up my digital whiteboard here. So number 1, check the current property owner. I hope you guys can read my writing. I'm trying to go neat. Property owner. You need to confirm who owns the property. There are unfortunately some bad people out there that will try to scam you, and you need to protect yourself. So you need to know that the seller actually has the rights to sell you the property. If you want to see step by step of how you can actually confirm and check each of the points on this list, I have them detailed out for you in our Florida land buying guide. It's free. Just click the link below, tell me where to email it to you, and I'll send it off right away. Okay, so the second point is you need to check for delinquent back taxes. And that is because you could be buying a Florida property that has hundreds or even thousands of dollars owing on it. And as the new owner, you would be responsible for paying off these delinquent property taxes and existing debts. So you don't want to take on any more risk or pay more than you have to, right? Especially if it's for a new family home or a retirement spot, a new vacation home. No one wants to pay more than they have to, right? So third point, you need to really understand the property uses. I've seen lots of people get their hearts totally broken because they've bought land that they wanted to RV on or put a mobile home on, for example, in Florida, but it's not allowed. And counties can be really strict about this kind of stuff. Land use is limited by 3 main factors. So the county zoning, city bylaws, and HOA level restrictions. You want to start at the top of the list and work your way down to really understand what you can and can't do on your property. Fourth, you need to check for legal access. This is not a given even for residential Florida land. You don't want to be in a position where you end up with a totally landlocked property and then you can only reach it by a county easement or an unofficial and probably privately owned trail. Then there are properties that do have the access, but it's difficult. So maybe for those you would need an off-road vehicle, an ATV, horseback. It's Florida, so maybe it's swampy or surrounded by a marsh. Those properties can be really cool and awesome if you want some more privacy, but they're not for everyone. So you do need to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Fifth point, you need to check for utilities. Okay, and you're probably thinking, Felicia, if I'm looking at Florida land close to towns and cities, I would expect it to have some utilities. And that's a fair request, but it's not a given. It's not standard. There are tons of residential Florida lots that don't have any utilities at all. And chances are you're going to want to know if you're allowed to bring in a septic and if you can drill a well and how deep you would have to drill. And all of that is included in the utilities umbrella and scope. So sixth point, you're going to want to check for an HOA or a POA, and that is a homeowners or a property owners association. You need to do this for 2 reasons. The first one is that they often have annual dues, and sometimes they can be pretty expensive, especially in Florida. They often include things like access to a community boat launch. So you want to know exactly how much before you decide to buy property there. And second, as we mentioned briefly before, these associations do have their own restrictions on land use. So you're going to want to check that out. 7th point, flood zone. Check for flood zone. Flood zones are obviously very common in Florida, And if your property is in a special flood hazard area, you are required to purchase flood insurance. If your property is outside of a special flood hazard area, flood insurance is recommended but might not be required based on your insurance company. And if you're wondering what the zones are, I have them detailed out in the guide, so make sure you grab a copy, totally free for you. And I have a pro tip for this one that will really make your life a lot easier. It's in the guide as well. So for this one, the county's online GIS maps will often have a flood zone layer. You can just turn that layer on and you'll immediately be able to see if the property falls into any of the designated flood zones. So 8th point, you want to check if the property is in a wetlands. Wetlands are great because they filter and clean the water we drink, but they can be a big pain for you if you want to build on or improve the property. And especially for building on wetlands, you'll have to watch out for damaging existing wells, which requires a special permit from the county. So you really need to know what you're getting into. And last point, number 9, you want to check for scrub J zones. Whoa, that's kind of messy. Scrub J zones. Okay, scrub jays are only found in central southern Florida, and they're a threatened species, which means you'll need extra permits before you improve or build on your property. You should also know that not every Florida county has scrub jays. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully it helps you buy Florida land, your next land purchase. You can see the 9 really key things you need to check here on the digital whiteboard. And if you're wondering how to check each of those things, I have it detailed out for you in the free guide, the Florida Land Buying Guide. Click the link below, tell me where you want that guide emailed, and I'll have it in your inbox within an hour. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, let me know if this content was helpful. I want to hear from you guys so I can figure out what content is useful and what's best for you and make more of it. Make sure you subscribe so you can see more information like this, as well as all of our newest property tour videos. If you have any questions about these 9 points, leave a comment below and I'll reply with your answer and help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.